Welcome back to the Gratu Orloff television program. It is January 2nd. It's a Saturday afternoon here in 2021. And I'm back in the Silverage Room. Silver Age with some Golden Age, an Atomic Age as well, but mostly Silver Age in the boxes in this room. And so I'm continuing the organization process, approaching an end. This is kind of interesting. Let me show you this. The 1970s were a little bit less politically correct than today's era, and you used to be able to get cards like this, like in a drugstore. A birthday riddle, big boy. What's the most useless thing on a woman? Let's see what the answer's going to be. A guy your age. Happy birthday. Courtesy of this company here. Found that in an antique store. Things you find at an antique store. Well, wanted to show you a couple of things on YouTube. I've got my wife's tablet here that she's taking a nap, so I've stolen her tablet. Let me sign in here. A couple of things you may not be aware of on YouTube that I think are cool. Let me see here. Okay, it would be in my history because I just looked at it. Library. Come on, history, yeah, history. Okay. Oh, okay. What the frick? Pardon me.
Do not be afraid.
Oh, if you go on YouTube, well, you're already there, type in Stan Lee at Princeton, 1966. It's Stan Lee giving a lecture at Princeton. It's an audio recording, and he announces the. Turn this up. He announces that Steve Ditko is leaving Marvel, and the audience is horrified. Let's see where he does it. Yeah, he
And I think that about wraps it up, so we'll now have a question session.
Okay.
Sir. Mr. Lee, have you given any thoughts to getting back to Strange back in the zone? Because he's one of the most popular guys who's here. You just feel that he doesn't get enough space. Actually, we give. Do these people look hostile? We'd love to give everybody a magazine of his own. We got Strange. We get requests for these things all the time. And we mention in the books, and I'm sure nobody believes it, but we just don't have the time and we don't have the staff. Now, we've just lost the artist who does Doctor Strange, Steve Ditko, who also does Sparks. And I feel as badly about it as you do. He's a very peculiar guy. He's a great talent, and but he's a little eccentric. Anyway, I haven't spoken to this guy for over a year. He mails in the work, and I write the stories, and that's the way he liked to work. And one day he just phoned and he said, "I'm in." So that was it. So this is the acid test now, because he was such a popular artist. I think that we've managed to find people to replace him, where those booms will change to a chorus of cheers.
So,
I know how it is.
anyway, I like how he phrases it. He sends in the work and I write the stories. Well, notice it's not I write the stories and then he sends in in other words, Steve Ditko did the stories. He sends in the stories and then I fill in the word balloons. But he did a good job filling in the word balloons. And if it wasn't for Stan Lee, well, you know, Spider-Man wouldn't have been successful, I don't think. It needed both. Because I think Steve Ditko, if he was left doing Spider-Man completely on his own and he wrote the actual dialogue, it would be very philosophical, and it just wouldn't have had the brightness or the optimism, I don't think, and it would have been more like The Question or Mr. A. But it was just a perfect synergy to, you know, like Paul McCartney and John Lennon together. Alone, they just never had it quite the same. There was another one I wanted to show you. Let me see. I don't see it in the history. I know how to find it, though. Okay. Yeah. Type in, on YouTube, type in collecting comic books in 1970, and you get to see inside a comic book store. I think it's in Canada. I think, well, we'll see. In 1970, it's like a 2.5 minute long black and white news report showing inside a comic book store. So it looks like that. I'll put it on.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
But you gotta watch a stupid ad for Disney Plus.
At Memory Lane Publishing in Toronto's Markham Street Village, the antiques are comic books. Superman, Batman, Captain Marvel. And the proprietor is George Henderson, or as he's better known, Captain George.
I've been in business 4.5 years, and when I came into the business, the fad, or what you want to call it, was at its peak, but it's been going, I would say, since about 1951. But it was underground then. Now it's above ground. The people aren't embarrassed anymore about admitting that they collect comic books.
What would you classify as an antique comic book? What do the collectors go after?
A legitimate antique comic book is anything dated from 1945 to 1933. It's a legitimate antique because comic books themselves, as we know it, that sort of a comic book only started in 1933. So therefore, you know, an antique, it doesn't have to be 100 years old. It has to be near the beginning. So 1933 to 1945.
And just how much do they sell for these antiques? What do collectors pay for them?
Well, take for instance the Batman #1, which everybody talks about, everybody wants. I've gotten $250 for it. It's actually going for about $200 now, $200 for Batman #1, which was spring 1940. Superman #1, which was in the spring of 1939. I see low prices of about $125, but I also see where it's going for something like $300. It depends on who's selling it and who's buying it.
One avid collector is George Olszewski. I collect old comic books because they're rare, they're interesting because they're precursors of the modern day comics that we have. And it's just sort of a collecting instinct. I like to have them. It's very interesting. Also, the artwork in comics is quite exceptional nowadays. I have seen comic art which would compare favorably to engravings by Doré, for example, in his illustrations to the Divine Comedy. Rare comic books are reaching such value that collectors are beginning to have trouble with thieves. But as George Henderson points out, sometimes it's hard to get anyone to take the theft seriously. Stan Ratton, CBC News.
You know, yeah, I remember, it makes me think of a friend of mine, his brother, this would have been back in the 80s, had a collection of every issue of All-Star Comics, which is where the Justice Society of America first appeared. And he had, I guess he was moving, he had the box in his car, he stopped at his brother's house, and he came back and the comics were gone. And as I recall, I don't know if they filed a police report, they immediately went to Lone Star Comics, the local comic book store, which is now mycomicshop.com, and they let him know that these comics had been stolen and to look out for anyone bringing them in. And then before, I don't think half an hour had passed, the thieves came in wanting to sell those comics, and they kept them in the store, you know. Then I guess pretended they were looking at him, and got the police there, and they were arrested, and he got his comics back. But at least with something like that, of course there was no eBay then, and they just wanted some quick, probably money for drugs. But anyway, that story had a happy ending. Anyway, just trying to kill a Saturday afternoon. Might go out and walk the dog here in a little bit. It's nice weather out there. You know, about, I think it was in April. I don't know if my wife got 2 packages or if she got a package and I got a package, but I know it happened twice. We got, I think they were both to my wife, packages that originated in China. They got a Chinese address and Chinese markings on them. They'd been mailed all the way from China. Inside of them were like 3 masks. We hadn't ordered any masks, no, at all. Somehow she got packages with several masks sent to her from China. And I think she actually used one, and then I said, well, I don't know if that's a wise idea. Why are they just sending random masks across an ocean to random people? I was just wondering, is that happening to anyone else? Did anyone else get masks sent to you? It's so much fun to wear masks. I love it. It makes me so proud. It makes me feel good about myself. Oh, God. Oh, my gosh, they're wonderful. You know, I lost another subscriber on New Year's Eve. I think I'm down to 136 now, and I saw, I think Journo's Comics just put up a video, 5 tips on how to run a successful YouTube channel. And he suggested that you need to know your material, you need to know about comics, and you need to focus on comics and not try to do other things like movie reviews and things like that. You need to stay focused because the YouTube algorithm will get confused about who to send your videos to as recommended videos. He said you've got to, what was it? Yeah, oh, you got to be enthusiastic about comics. You got to really, truly love them, not just, oh, I think, you know, that would, you know, be something that would get a lot of subscribers if I did that particular subject. And then down in the little chat, little comments underneath this video, someone said, well, make sure you're not toxic. I'm thinking, I wonder if my channel is toxic. Probably. I don't think I focus enough on comics. I mean, he's got like 3,000 something subscribers, and he's been doing it 4 years. And he caters to a little bit different market than me. He's more of a, caters to kind of the, he's kind of a hip-hop guy with gold chains and always wearing sports jerseys and a base, you know, little cap. And I think he is actually a hip-hop musician. So he's aimed at a whole different generation. And I don't think I get, from what I see, the people watching are in their 40s and 50s, because they show you on this little YouTube app, you know, who's what. They don't tell me what names of people are watching. It just tells me the age range of people that are watching, and it tells me the amount of time that people watch on average, how many minutes total people have watched, you know, and all that stuff. And yeah, it's interesting, I guess. It would be cool to have a lot. I don't want, you know, I want people to subscribe that actually watch and are entertained. I thought maybe I could do a video too with tips on how to run an unsuccessful YouTube channel. And I thought that might be the subject for today. First of all, the title of the video, episode 71, today is Tips on How to Run an Unsuccessful YouTube Channel. And yet, we're how many minutes into, we're 15 minutes, 16 minutes almost into this, and I'm just now starting to talk about it. So that might be one tip on how to run an unsuccessful YouTube channel. Let me see how many tips I can come up with. I'll write it on the back of this. Okay, so I'll make a tally mark. I can't write on this because it's slick paper. God damn it, motherfucker. Shit. Okay, I'll just make a little mark. No, I'll tell you what, I'll poke a hole. Okay, that's that hole poke. That means first, delay talking about the topic. 2, tip 2 on how to run an unsuccessful YouTube channel. Curse a lot. Yeah, that's my tip 2. Make sure that you use a lot of foul language. You know, when it'll transcribe out. You should see how every time it doesn't understand Gratu Orloff, the closed captioning for people that are hard of hearing at the bottom. It'll always have hilarious interpretations of what the fuck I'm saying. Okay, so cursing, make sure you curse. Make sure that you oh yes, spend a lot of time waiting, talking. Oh, another thing, talk about politics a lot. That's third thing, and I made a real big hole for that one. Yes, make sure that you talk about how you're wrong if you voted for Joe Biden. Make sure you remind people that Trump won all the time in between showing them comic books. That will help you run an unsuccessful YouTube channel. Because honestly, I don't think I want to be super successful. Because if I am, that means I've got a lot of. That means that I don't know. I guess what would be a healthy amount of subscribers? About 1,000, maybe. Maybe a couple thousand. I mean, I got it. 4, make fun of people that have their comics slabbed when most of your target audience has at least one comic slabbed in their collection. That's a good way to get people to not like you very much. Okay, that's 4. Okay, I got things to do, so I'm going to do them, and when I think of a reason while I do the things I'm doing, I'll add to it. And let's see. What the fuck am I doing? Oh yeah, so I'm alphabetizing these comics so that I can file them into these boxes. I've oriented everything a little bit differently today. I'm filing into these boxes, and I'm starting a box. See, I'll alphabetize everything in one box, and then I'll start filing it into the other boxes from that box. I don't know if you guys do it in those staging. What else is a horrible thing you can do to make sure your channel doesn't get a lot of subscribers? Well, don't talk about new comics at all, and say that most new comics are just awful. That's a good way when most of your viewers like the new comics. So I'm up to 5 ways to make your channel Unsuccessful. Journo had 5 ways to make it successful. So I've got new original content that's different, because now I'm talking about how to make your channel fucked up and shitty. And that's what we strive for here on the Gratu Orloff 24-hour-a-day channel. Shittiness. Oh yeah, this is Night Tiger Comics Christmas card that I got along with my package. And this bumper sticker. Hang up or speed up. Which, you know, I'm trying to think what I could do with this. Let's see. All right. High School Confidential Diary. With the prize package that I got from Night Tiger, I got some bags. So I'm gonna see if this one fits. It's hit or miss whether some of these comics will fit. I think these bags are for today's comics. Yeah, I think I'm going to use these for more recent comics. They're a little too narrow, so. Incredible Hulk, IGH. H, no, H is before I. H, Incredible Hulk, shit. Hawkman High School. Another thing you can do to make your channel hated is do other things and kind of ignore the camera and the people out there. Let's add that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 techniques to make your channel horrific. Bronze Age needs to go over here. On this channel, we separate the bronze. So I was looking at a video from that Journo's comics, and he was taking all his small runs, like Marvel Double Feature, or Battlestar Galactica, or Black Panther, comics that only came out for 10, 12 issues. And he's putting them in separate boxes. And then he was keeping longer runs together, but he was like keeping different volumes and like apart. Like he was, I guess he was like putting Fantastic Four Volume 1 and putting that aside, and then starting a box for the. See, I didn't even acknowledge that there's another volume, but yeah, I don't know. He says it's silly to separate eras as far as in a run, but you know, when Fantastic Four stopped Silver Age, I keep that separate from the Bronze Age in whole different rooms. I don't want the modern era of comics to in there to infect the Silver Age, because it might change them. It might give them horrible virus that will turn them into something less cool. Oh boy. Another thing, make sure that you do your videos when you're incredibly tired and only had a few hours of sleep and are incredibly hungry. That's another way. Wait, that's 2 ways. Make sure you're tired when you do your videos. Make sure you're hungry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 ways to make your YouTube channel incredibly shitty. Okay. make sure that you make sure you show lots of coverless comics, because people like to see comics that don't have covers on your channel, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this is Tales to Astonish number 77. See, that's the way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. You're right, 77 up there. That's what the previous owner of this comic book did. It's perfectly good reading copy. I mean, do you enjoy comics? Then you're not going to throw out a coverless comic. This comic had a history. It came to you. God damn, I'm hungry. Again, that's 2 in 1. You curse, you're hungry, and you're cursing. That's 2 ways to make people unsubscribe. Okay. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of damaged comics I wanted to show you. I know I had something I wanted to do. Let's go in the other room and get them. That's some content I wanted to create for you. Content. Incredibly stupid word. She never said that in the movie. That must be a deleted little take. The problem with Man of Steel is that there's never one around when you need one. I don't think she said that in the movie. Okay, this light bulb's burned out. God damn it. Need to go to the dollar store and get another light bulb. Alright, we're into the Silverage Room. Okay. Oh, I gotta put that down. Put your hand in front of the camera a lot. The people love that. And it causes them to unsubscribe because of your lack of professionalism. And also, go off camera a lot. I got 2 of them. That's a 2 for 1. Alright, this whole pile of comics we're going to go through. I don't really know what to do with all these damaged comics. I can't throw them away. It's like a curse that's been inflicted upon me by Buddy Saunders of Lone Star Comics, because he used to do this thing where he'd sell a big brick of comics, and he called them Wounded Wonders. And you didn't know what was in the pile. It was all, wrapped. And you had to buy it and open it up to find out what was in it. And they were wounded comics that were so badly fucked up they couldn't really sell them individually. But you might get some really cool reading copies of some great stuff. And I even got front covers of EC Comics mixed in. Not the comic, just the front cover, which I framed in the hall because it looks great framed. You didn't know what was in there. They could be anything. So whenever they had a new pack, only occasionally would they appear on the rack next to the new comics. There'd be a new Wounded Wonders, and I'd pick it up, and I think it cost $8, maybe $10 for a stack of comics this high, wrapped. And then you'd open it up, and it was like a really shitty Christmas morning. It was like Santa Claus really hated you and brought you a bunch of comics that the elves had fucked up. And so now I've got like a whole box of these fucked up comics, and do I file them in with the good comics? You kind of don't want to. Sometimes they're too fucked up. And sometimes, like those coverless comics, yeah, I kind of do want to file them in, because if I don't have that comic, it's at least a good reading, but reading copy. I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. So let's look at these Wounded Wonders, shall we? Oh, I've got to add the 2 techniques that will help you lose subscribers. And one was hand in front of the camera. And the other one was disappearing off camera. Oh, how about dropping the camera on the floor I do that sometimes, you know, where the camera fault because I'm using a fucking iPhone and it's not on an iPhone. Oh, and I used the cursing again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ways to lose subscribers. I think the politics one is the main thing that gets me. But the people that are loyal to this channel and watch almost every episode are right along with me politically, and I think a lot of people in the comic book community are. Because I'll tell you, you like your comic collection, here's what's in store, and they're already kind of gearing this up in Canada. See, I'm getting into my conspiracy theories. Have you heard about this great reset? The great global reset? It's basically communism. So what they want to do is if you don't take the, you know, the thing you can't talk about, that you're a public menace, you motherfucker. You're an infected bastard. And so they want to take away all. They want to do this to everybody. They'll put you in some kind of re-education camp, separate you. But what they want to do to everyone is say, hey, you want to get rid of your student loans, right? You want to not have any more credit card debt. That's fine. How about, don't you like these stimulus checks? How about if you got one every month? How about if Big Brother government just takes care of you every month? But you can't have private property. You're not going to own your house. You're going to live in this government housing and everything, and we're going to give you, won't even have to leave. You can just be a little battery unit like in the Matrix, but you'll be happy. But in the comic collection, oh, that's bad for the environment. We need to probably recycle all your comics. They're really going to take. They don't want you to have personal property. And guys, these comic books are your personal property. They're going to take it all away from you. It's going to all be gone. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayday. We've got to January 6th. We got to make sure that Trump stays in. You have 4 more years of comic collecting, and communism is the enemy of comic collecting. Let's take a look at the Wounded Wonders, shall we? Well, I have this issue in better shape. I guess they felt like they couldn't sell it. You know, it could be pressed. They didn't have, no one invented pressing back then. That was something you did with photographs. I don't think anyone had tried it with a comic book back then in the old days. This one isn't too badly fucked up. Remember this idiot that took over DC Comics for a while? What was her name? Jeanette Schwartz or something? Yeah, it was Jeanette something. Warlord was a great comic. Yes, indeed. Remember Hostess Cup, the damn Hostess Cupcake apple pie ads? Something else. 2-page spread. Yes, I like Warlord. Let's put this over here. What else we got here? What is this fucking shit? What do you do with this? Do you just toss it in the shithole? Fucking crap, motherfucker. I mean, it's a little promotional thing you get free at the comic store, but as soon as I throw it away, then it'll become incredibly valuable. You know, an ad for Mystery of the Batwoman on the back. I don't know, I'm a pack rat. I hold on to this stuff, and, well, like this one is cool. New Age Comics. I mean, this is probably worth something to one of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles idiots. See, that's the other thing. I gotta get that. That's a good one. That's a good one. See? Oh, that's 2 things. I'm going to put it as 2 things. Insult your viewers. Insult people that are younger than you for liking things from when they were children. But it's okay if you like Land of the Lost and Sid and Marty Krofft. But if people like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, well, they're idiots. Well, they were kids when it came out. Now, if I don't know. Fuck it. Okay, whatever the fuck this is. This is, what did this come out? Oh, this is Bud Plant. it's just his little publication. You know, just advertisements. So, I don't know, Fantagraphics. I don't know, do you guys save these things? Because that's kind of a cool cover, I gotta admit. And the turtles on the back, that's cool. Cool dude. Totally radical pizza dude. This one's been chewed on by a Democrat. It doesn't affect the art, well, a little bit. Yeah, those Democrats, they're crazy. They're not voting for Biden. They're chewing on a comic book, man. What the fuck is wrong with them? Look at that. Horrific. Incredible Hulk Special #2. But you can read it. I'll put this in the... Motherfucker. I'll put this with the Warlord. 35 minutes, 59 seconds. What is this shit? Batman 12-cent adventure? I wish that comics were still 12 cents. I guess they're trying to fool people into buying Batman comics by selling them this 12-cent comic. They might as well just give it away, but I guess they're trying to make people realize, hey, Batman's still a good comic. Yeah, I don't know. Here's another of these, an update on the Comic-Con in 2004. Why do I own this? I have no idea, but here's these cosplay fools. Where am I putting these? Oh, down here. DC Horizon. Oh, it's a tribute cover. Fuck. There's Superman #1. It's just little previews, but if it's like the first pan, sometimes, you know, some character will appear in a comic for the first time, but really the first time they're seen in some promotional stupid flyer like this, and then idiots start wondering, is this really their first appearance in the promotional flyer that came out before the comic? And then it's like, so if you have that promotional flyer, all of a sudden it's worth a lot of fucking money. Here is a My Little Margie, which was a cool old radio show, and it's a neat 50s comic. But, you know, this one didn't sell, and they sent the title back to the distributors so they could get credit for it. So that's why this has been put into a Wounded Wonders pile. 1954, ladies and gentlemen. All right, My Little Margie, A-OK for that. Oh. Was this in the Wounded Wonder pile? This, I don't think so. This is like it's a okay thing. You know, there's two competing cyborgs out there. There's the guy from the Justice League of America movie, and there's the guy that's on Doom Patrol that is a much skinnier version. There's a Swamp Thing ad. Put this over there. What is this? Why, it's the Flintstones and the Pre-Hysterical Egg. Boy, is that egg funny. Ha ha. Fucking shit. Okay. I'm going to put the Flintstones down here. This looks like a romance comic. Why, it's Heartthrobs. Number 11. From October, November '68. From National Periodical Publications. This is a DC romance comic. You can compete in the 1968 Miss American Teenager Contest. There's probably still time at the Palisades Amusement Park. Oh, look at this ad. That's how I felt the last time I ate at Poncho's. I wonder if there's a Poncho's. Poncho's is maybe a regional reference. It's an all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. And when you run out of a particular food, you're sitting at your table, you raise a little Mexican flag, And then they come to you and say, what would you like? And they're like, I would like 12 more burritos, please. And they'll bring them to you. And then when you eat that, you raise your flag again, and then you tell them, a dozen sopapillas, por favor. That's, now this is not a complete comic at all. It's like half of a comic. At one point it was a Superman comic. But and I think I actually own this comic in its complete form, because I remember that good old Titano Super Ape climbing the Daily Planet building. There's good old Lori Lemuris. Man, I can't throw it away. What the fuck? I put it down here. Here's a Jimmy Olsen annual, part of it. I mean, it just starts here. The look you want, when you want it. Oh wait, it's just like maybe 4 pages of that. God damn it! This is Strange Suspense Stories, number 8 from July of '69. This is a Charlton comic, but without the cover. Yeah, it's a horror comic. Yes, Charlton put the horror in horror.